felt like an earthquake. So I turned around and I saw smoke behind me. And my house is about 5 kilometers from the port. And the whole building basically shook, and I saw the smoke coming out. And then 2 seconds later, the blast. And that basically threw me off. And it was quite traumatizing. It took your breath away. It really takes your breath away. It almost felt like a short death.
Sami Bazbous is a Lebanese Canadian living in Beirut. He says Monday's explosions were unlike anything he had ever experienced. But Bazbous says Lebanon is now in desperate need of international aid, not just due to the blasts, but because of ongoing political strife, which he says has left the country unable to cope. In its most desperate hour, Lebanon is now turning to one of its oldest friends, Canada, for help.
Lebanon loves Canada. Because it opened its doors back during the Civil War in the 70s and the 80s, and afterwards as well. So we are absolutely very thankful to Canada. And it's one of those countries that has always been a friend of Lebanon.
There are tens of thousands of people of Lebanese descent living in Canada today, with immigration starting as early as the 1800s. Now, Canadians who have returned to Lebanon are asking friends and family in Canada for their help. Before heading to join relief efforts in the city, Bazbous underlined the desperate situation: high unemployment, rampant inflation, ongoing anti-government protests, millions of refugees from neighboring Syria, and hospitals struggling to cope with COVID-19.
Help. The message is help. So you know where to go. We need your help.
Hospitals are not equipped to accept this much patients, COVID patients. And now it's even worse because they cannot accommodate all the wounded people from the incident, from the explosion.
Ahmad Araji is an Ottawa resident and originally from Lebanon. His cousin's family, living in downtown Beirut, was caught in the explosion. He says the family is now recovering, but underlined the dire situation facing the Levantine nation.
People who have never begged, who are never on the streets, are on the streets right now begging for basic human rights. They're asking for milk, they're asking for bread. It's insane. Old people are digging in garbage bins outside of buildings and restaurants and hotels, trying to find just small quantities of food to hold them throughout the day.
Araji's Lebanese Club of Ottawa has started a fundraiser with proceeds going directly to the Lebanese Red Cross and hospitals in Beirut. He says he's been blown away by the support offered so far.
After I saw that insane amount of love and support from Canadians, I'm talking about Canadians specifically and non-Lebanese people, I feel very proud, and I feel very honored, and I feel very privileged to live in a country like this country.
Araji's fundraiser can be found on GoFundMe as well as the Lebanese Club of Ottawa's Facebook page. But Araji is also underlining the desperate need for blood donations, which are in short supply in Lebanon. Meanwhile, Canada's Minister for International Development, Karina Gould, says Canada is preparing support for Lebanon, but is considering options to ensure help goes where it's most needed. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.